What are sales telling you? How much demand are you seeing? Have we reached a bottom here?
Hi, good morning. Thank you for having me today. Yes, we see the demand going up pretty quick. During the national holiday in May, the visitor to our offline store has been increased quite significantly, actually even better than the number before the coronavirus. On the other hand, the real sales seems going the right direction, going up. Partially, some of those orders actually came from the time before the virus. We cannot deliver the order, so we have to do it now. Partially, it came from the new orders. So it looks promising. But on the other hand, I think we still need to watching closely because, again, we have a lot of visitors coming. Doesn't mean they will all buy your car. Buying a car is a pretty long time decision. Some family will look in the car and then they will buy a car like 6 months later. But again, seems the whole situation going better in the right direction right now.
How much of that
Hi,
demand that you're seeing do you think is being propelled by the measures that we've seen from the government here, whether that's an extension of the subsidies? Those subsidies have been reduced, but they've been extended, and then you're seeing some cities where they're easing up on license plate restrictions. To what extent is that feeding into demand and impacting you?
Oh, yeah. I think, again, our volume looking at least 30% to 40% better before during the virus period of time. It's caused by a few reasons, as you just mentioned. First of all, some of the key opinion leader has saying in public that private car, in many sense, has provided safety better than the public transportation, and some of the our customer listen to that and they want to buy a car now for the private use. Secondary, as you know, that the national government, the state government, basically mentioned that they're going to extend the incentives for electric vehicle for another 2 years, which is a good news. Thirdly, almost all the city level governments start giving special incentives for all the car purchasing, not necessarily to the electric vehicle, but to all the vehicle purchasing. So all this has encouraged the confidence of the customer to buy vehicles, including electric vehicles. On the other hand, I think the electric vehicle will benefit most compared to the ICE car because, again, some of the cities still limit the license plate for ICE car, and then the central government still want to improve the percentage of the electric vehicle over all the vehicle sales. So that's why you see the recovery for electric vehicle sector. It's much more stronger and faster versus the overall passenger car market. Hi, David.
Freeman, David here. I just wanted to pick up on that point then, and that Tom was bringing up as well. I was looking at your website, and obviously how you market the price of at least one of your cars is you have a price, I think it's 189,000 renminbi, I think it's about 27,000 US dollars. And you obviously emphasize this is post-subsidy. I'm wondering for the industry, just looking ahead 3-4 years, do you think the industry is prepared by that point to survive without government support?
Oh, definitely. Because a lot of people like to compare us versus Tesla. Actually, we are taking a very different path. But from day one, our focus is always in the mass market. We don't want to spend a lot of money on the luxury market sector and then go down to the mass market, which exactly Tesla has been doing in the last 16 years. They provide very nice car in the luxury car market and then attract people's eyeballs and then had a very high brand awareness, and then they start going down to the mass market like the Model 3, Model Y. But I think in the Chinese market that the customer is very young. They're very welcome the new technology and new brand. So we don't want to go another 15 years spending billions of dollars doing the luxury car market and then go to the mass market. We go directly all our product in the past couple of years and also in the future 5 years focus on the sector 150,000 to 250,000 RMB price tag, which is the largest sector in all passenger market, about 67% last year out of the 23 million new car sales in the passenger car. It's in my sector. And then on the other hand, in our team, most of the people had a lot of experience on the supply chain and manufacturing, and we are very good at the price, the cost control, and then make sure during this price sector we're still profitable. We will be very profitable. I think we will probably become the first company on a yearly basis become profitable as a startup in the electric vehicle sector. Yes, the answer to that, yes. And then on the other hand, if you study the central government's new policy on the incentives, they actually mention they encourage to electric vehicle with the price less than 300,000 RMB, which is exactly the market we compete from day one. Yeah, back to you.
So Freeman, just to pick up on that last point then, when do you think you'll be profitable, since you brought it up, and when are you going to go public?
We have nothing can be announced at this moment. Again, we want to become a company with very healthy in the basics. So in our management team, our focus always, first of all, cash management. Secondary, growth, meaning sales growth. And third, it's the gross profit. And fourth, obviously, the net profit. This is the basic we are working on a daily basis, working very hard. We want to become a health company before we can go IPO. We don't want to just to rush to be go listing and then figure out that we are not too healthy, and then obviously the capital market will not be interested in working with that. So again, our focus at this moment is to make the company very healthy from basic, and then we will announce what's our next plan in the later date.